Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Hiba and I'm a fourth year medical student studying at the University of Manchester. Manchester is the third biggest city in the UK. It's a vibrant city full of exciting culture, architecture, music, media and art. So you might be surprised to hear that Manchester is actually also one of the most affordable cities to live in for students in the UK. It's ranked as one of the most affordable cities to live in the UK by top universities and NatWest Student Living Index. This makes Manchester a really attractive city to move to for university because you can enjoy living in a huge modern city despite being on a budget. In Manchester, the student population is over 100,000, spanning across 6 universities in the city, so many local businesses and services are aimed at students and there are always promotions and offers for students going on. So exactly how much is it going to cost you to live in Manchester as a student? In this video, I'm going to be talking about the 4 main expenses that you'll have as a student, and those are accommodation, transport, food and entertainment. So firstly, we'll start off with talking about accommodation. As a student, no matter which university or city you go to, accommodation is going to be your main expense. The main student-friendly areas in Manchester are around Oxford Road, which is a main road that leads from 2 of the city's biggest universities right to the city centre, or slightly south from there in areas such as Rusholme, Hume, Withington, Didsbury and Fallowfield. These are the areas where the majority of students tend to live because it's a short bus journey to the campus, but of course you can choose to live anywhere in the city. The average rent in these areas is around £130 to £200 per week, of course depending on which sort of facilities you choose to have in your accommodation. For example, if you choose you want an ensuite, then obviously that will be towards the higher end. If you decide to live at the halls of residence at your university, then this can decrease your costs even more because you can potentially even get catered accommodation in the price range that I mentioned, and usually utility bills and Wi-Fi are also going to be included. So we've established that the cost in the most popular areas that students tend to live in is around £130 to £200 per week. If we take the average of that, it would be £165 per week or £660 a month. Depending on how far out from the university you're willing to go, you can potentially find accommodation that's as little as around £300 per month as well. But of course this can become inconvenient because it usually will be quite far out from the university and quite far from where all of the other students are living. Of course, with accommodation, at the end of the day, it is up to your preference. If you choose you want to live in somewhere like the city centre, you'll find rent prices of even upwards of £1,000 a month, but £660 is what you should keep in mind as the average. I think it would also be relevant to mention in this category utilities, so gas, electric and water. In Manchester, your utilities will usually cost you around £80 a month if it's not already included in your accommodation, so that brings the monthly total to £740 per month. While we're on the topic of accommodation, before we talk about the next big cost, which is food, guys, if you're struggling at all to find accommodation, if you have any questions or if you're having trouble browsing, please consider using Amber. Amber is a brilliant platform that I would 100% recommend, that is for students who are finding accommodation near their universities, and they are sponsoring today's video. They have a huge variety of accommodation options and they cater to all of your preferences. Their accommodation options include ensuites, studio flats, shared properties. They have a wide range of low budget options if that's what you're looking for, but they also have higher budget options as well. They're completely flexible in how long you want to book for or how many people want to live together. I can guarantee you your booking experience is going to be stress-free and seamless because they offer 24/7 personalized assistance to anyone that's looking to book through Amber, and they take care of all of the paperwork side of things as well. They have loads and loads of student-friendly policies such as free cancellations if you're affected by COVID or if you're an international student and you're having trouble with your visa. They're really flexible in that aspect as well. They have over 1 million beds near 800 universities all across the world, not just in Manchester but across the UK, in Ireland, in the US, in Australia and several other countries in Europe as well. So trust me, you'll definitely find a place that you like near you. Using Amber will completely take away the stress of trying to find private accommodation on your own, so definitely make sure to visit their website using my link, which is going to be in the description box, to learn more about the fantastic accommodation services they offer and to find out why they're rated as excellent on Trustpilot by thousands of students. Thank you very much to Amber for sponsoring this video, and now we're going to move on to talking about the next cost that you need to consider. The second biggest cost of living that you have to consider after putting a roof over your head is obviously food. Manchester is a very multicultural city with a huge variety of food and drink options at a wide range of different prices. So it really does depend on what you want to eat and how much you want to spend. However, I can tell you for sure that eating on a budget is not going to be difficult at all, especially if you're cooking for yourself. itself, because basic food items and ingredients are really affordable here. Here's an example of how much basic ingredients will cost you if you shop at budget supermarkets such as Aldi and Lidl, which have numerous branches around the universities and all across the city as well. The average cost of meals here for the average student will be around £40 a week, excluding meals out. So that's £120 a month, and it brings the monthly total to £860. In terms of meals out, of course, I'm sure you can understand that hugely varies with your preference and how often you want to eat out and where you'd like to eat. So I'm not going to try and put a number on it, but according to the Student Living Index 2020, a takeaway in Manchester is the least expensive in the UK at about £8.50, which is 17% less than the national average. So there's some information about how much takeaways cost for whatever that's worth. Also, this next thing isn't food, but it kind of links in with grocery shopping, so I'm just going to add it in here. But the average cost of household items such as toiletries for students is around £45 a month. So that brings our running total to £905 per month. Now let's move on to talking about transport. So the main method of transport that most students in Manchester will use is the bus. Thankfully, the bus network here and the bus connections here are really good, especially from accommodation areas to university's campus to city centre. You'll never have to wait more than 5 minutes for a bus. There's a bus literally every 5 minutes. So how much is it actually going to cost you to use the bus services? If you're only buying a ticket, then tickets are £2.50 to £3.50 for a single journey, £5 for a day rider, using which you can have unlimited access to the buses for a day, or £8.20 for a 7-day ticket, and again with this ticket you'll have unlimited use of the buses for 7 days. Most students, however, will opt for the longer term bus passes because it saves more money in the long run. For these passes, the options are a pass for 1 term, which is 3 months, and that costs £95, a 2-term pass which covers 6 months and costs £175, and a pass for the whole year, which is typically from September to July, and that costs £250. So say you were just to buy the single term pass, that's £95 for 3 months, so that would be around £32 per month, and that would bring the total to £937 a month. Apart from the bus, you can also get around campus and the city centre really easily on foot, and cycling is also really encouraged, and there's lots and lots of cycle lanes and routes as well. So of course, if you choose to cycle, that will just cost you the cost of the bike, your gear and maintenance, which is difficult to quantify how much that would be, but of course in most cases it would be an investment and it would save you money in the long run, and it would be really good for your health. So now let's move on to talking about entertainment in Manchester. There's a really wide variety of entertainment options in Manchester, as you can imagine, with countless options of pubs, clubs, activities, and also lots of live music events. You'll be happy to hear that no matter which sort of entertainment you're in the mood for, in the city centre there will almost always be discounts and offers for students. Of course, exactly how much you spend is going to depend on exactly what you want to do and how frequently you want to go. But as a rough idea, we have View Cinemas in the Printworks in city centre, and that only costs you £4.99 to watch a movie. There are also places such as Dog Bowl and Tenpin in the city centre, where it costs you just £3.50 to play a game of bowling with student discount. A cocktail in a club would cost around £9, and a beer in a pub would cost around £3.90. Roughly on average, a student in Manchester will spend around £50 per week on additional costs outside of rent, utility bills, food and transport, for things like socialising and entertainment, and for extra additional little costs, things like printing, laundry, your mobile phone bill. So on average, the entertainment and all of the other small things that you need to spend on will add another £200 onto your monthly costs. And this brings the total to £1,137, which is around about the average cost of living in Manchester as a student. From personal experience of being a student in Manchester, and also through the research I've done and the sources that I've used to make this video, which by the way will all be linked in the description, I can definitely tell you that £1,200 is plenty to live comfortably in Manchester as a student, especially if you try and find accommodation on the lower end of the range that we mentioned earlier. Overall, Manchester is a very student-friendly city, and you won't find many places where they don't offer discounts or offers or promotions to students. The entire cost of living here per month, I know in some places like central London, can be just the cost of rent alone, so it's definitely a really good place for students who want to live in a big city and experience a really big modern city without going bankrupt in 2 months. I hope this video has been of some help to you. If it has, please let me know in the comments, and also by liking this video. Please do also consider subscribing to my channel. I make videos about being a medical student in Manchester, so you may find some of my other videos interesting as well. Any questions, please feel free to ask in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.